Hey, today I'm going to be doing a movie review of the film based off of Dave Edgar's novel The Circle. First I'll start touching on the book a little bit. I really ended up liking it. It's not something that I would see on a shelf and be like, that looks interesting, let me dive right in. However, I really enjoyed the ideas in it, the questions that it posed, and also really the characters and the character development and all of that. Unfortunately, those are the things that I felt were really lacking in the movie, making me give it about like a C, and that's only because Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks and I will support him in everything he does. Yeah, so diving into the movie, one problem that I really had with it were the characters, like I said, mainly May. I felt that in the movie, she was so just against this idea, not against it, but very hesitant to buy into this idea of zero privacy and everything about the circle and its completion and things. And then all of a sudden she gets in a kayaking accident. I get it, it's scary, not discrediting that. But instantly she's like, yep, no privacy, this is correct, let's do it, I'm on board. And that felt kind of like abrupt. There was really no development of her. There was no real... you didn't see the process of her buying into it like you did in the book, where it's believable, her transition into really supporting the ideas of the circle. And then you have her wavering in her ideas again when the whole thing with Mercer happens, and you can see her really not buying into everything that she is somehow the spokesperson for. I don't know, I just really didn't feel like May's character was convincing enough. I liked how relatable she was in the beginning and all of that. However, I just didn't really buy her whole evolution into Circle May, and then one thing happens with her best friend and then instantly she's like, let's change it. I don't know, I just thought it was pretty choppy. Another character that I had a problem with was Ty, or Calden. Calden wasn't even a part of the movie. It wasn't that I necessarily missed May and Calden's or Ty's romance per se, but I missed any sort of relationship, any sort of connection, any sort of reason why Ty would pick May to be his person, basically. Also, just the character in itself, he was very he wasn't mysterious, and he seemed more like a Francis to me. He was just seen a couple times, and all of a sudden he's this girl he meets 2 times at a party, and then he's taking her into the tunnels and saying, yo, this is all wrong. I don't know, I just felt like that could have been handled better. I think that a relationship could have been established like it was in the novel, and just also the character as a whole, he just didn't do it for me. Yeah, and I never thought I would miss Francis, but I did. That was a whole nother dynamic of the story that I feel like made it more enjoyable, complete. I don't know, just less choppy. Let's see, I did not like how the movie seemed just like event after event after event with no, I don't know, I just didn't feel invested. It just kind of felt like a string of events. And there was no, connection there. And also, there was no real explanation of the circle. It was kind of like, here's a business. This is what we do, whereas in the book it was very well explained. That being said, I did like the way the circle was visually presented in the movie. I liked that a lot. I enjoyed how the campus was portrayed. I also liked how things like the online conversation popped up around May, so we felt like we were kind of involved in that. And I like also the little touches in those comments, very true and random, and it just felt that was a good explanation of what was happening. Thing I really also didn't like about it was the ending. I mean, maybe it's good and it's the whole privacy is gone and that's just how it is and we can just use it for good and all that kind of thing. However, it wasn't really explained. May walks out into light and then all of a sudden she's on a kayak with drones everywhere. Are you saying, like, it didn't really give a solution to the privacy issue that caused Mercer's death? Okay, now Bailey and Stanton are transparent. What now? Is May now the ultimate supreme leader, or did she do that to do the whole get the power back and then use it for good thing? It's really not explained there. Another thing, the very, very ending where it cut into all of these different scenes of different people doing different things, basically, that also made me question, are they still trying to make everyone transparent? Because it kind of seems like Mercer's death and the reaction to that is sort of pointing that privacy should be allowed. So my questions after that is, do you get to choose if you post or not? Is it like now where, like, hey, if you want to have an Instagram, have an Instagram. If you want to have a YouTube, you don't have to. I don't know. That was just a little bit confusing to me. I guess that leaves it up to the person to decide, which is kind of cool. But overall, I felt like I wasn't invested enough to care. Like, I had all these questions, and I thought about them for a second, and then I was like, yeah, but I don't really care, and forgot about it all. So, yeah, that was my main problem with the movie, is that it just was not developed well. It kind of felt like they were trying to take important chunks out of the novel and just string them together, leaving out the parts that made them interesting, made them make sense. I get that it's hard to do that with a movie, to get all the detail in that's in a book. However, I feel like it just could have done better, especially with the actors that they had and the storyline that they had to work with. So yeah, overall I was a little disappointed, and again, I could be biased because I like the book so much. Maybe if I saw the movie first, I would have enjoyed it more. But yeah, overall a C, and yeah, I was kind of disappointed, but what you gonna do? I got to see Tom Hanks in a movie for 2 hours, so thanks.